Everybody in the space is obsessed with credit cards, but they're sleeping on one of the best capital tools in the country, and it's sitting at Wells Fargo. A business line of credit, or a BLOC, $50,000 of revolving capital, no tax returns required, and no proof of income. It works differently than a credit card. It's more flexible than a card, and it's the piece that makes everything else in this strategy run smoothly. And almost nobody is talking about it because cards are just flashier. I'm gonna show you what a BLOC actually is and why it beats cards for certain moves, as well as the seasoning requirement you have to hit before you apply. A travel trick that gets you into Wells Fargo even if there's no branch in your state, and the Wells Fargo card you stack on top to earn cash back while you're at it. Let's start with what a line of credit even is, because people confuse it with a card. A credit card gives you a limit you can spend on. A line of credit gives you a pool of cash that you can actually draw and inject directly into your business checking account whenever you need. And that's the difference that matters. Credit card is spending power. A business line of credit is cash. When you need to pay a contractor, cover payroll, or, and this is the big one, pay off 0% interest credit cards when the 0% interest expires. And you can't always swipe a credit card to do that specifically. So sometimes you need specific cash, and that business line of credit is the cash. Wells Fargo is the best bank in the country for this. They offer a $50,000 business line of credit with no tax returns required. That no tax returns piece is what makes it special, because most banks, they want to see you have at least 2 years of tax returns beforehand before they approve you for the line of credit. Wells Fargo does not in most scenarios, only if you set it up correctly. So here's how you set it up. The pre-requirement is a business checking account at Wells Fargo. Technically, you can have a personal checking account, but I would recommend the business checking account, and it needs to be open for at least 30 days before you apply. But 30 days is the bare minimum. It isn't actually what you want to do specifically. You want to also season the account. So park whatever you can budget, but ideally $10,000 or $20,000 in that account and let it sit for 2 months before you apply. Much better than the bare minimum of 30 days. The bank wants to see this. They want to see that you're not desperate. They want to see money in the account and money moving in the account. So you look like a real business owner that has some sort of liquidity, and they like to see you build a relationship with them. So seasoned money is the difference between an approval and a denial here. As much as you can budget, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, more is better. And don't underestimate what seasoned money really means to Wells Fargo. It shows that you're more trustworthy. It shows them you have some money. You don't need to do $50,000. You can do a smaller amount, but let it sit there for 2 months. They're not just checking the account that turns 30 days old. They're looking at your average daily balance in this account, whether money flows in and out, and looks some sort of like a real business. If you have any revenue, they like to see some of that revenue. If they see anything bouncing in the account, things like that, that's not going to look good. So at minimum, have the account open for 60 days, ideally put $10,000 to $20,000 in the account and have some money moving in and out to show some activity in this account for that 60 days. Instead of just parking the money. Just parking the money is going to really help you get approved, but what's going to make it even easier to get you approved is if there's deposit activity in and out of the account that shows you look like a legit business. Now the trick, Wells Fargo doesn't have branches in every state. A lot of people in the middle of the country assume that means they're locked out, and they're not. You can open a Wells Fargo business checking account at a branch in another state. When you're traveling, when you're going out and about, you can do this, opening up a business checking account at Wells Fargo in a different state, which is not something other banks generally let you do unless they're a national bank. So Wells Fargo does let you do this. So if you're in a state that doesn't have branches, you can always travel to a different state to open up this business checking account, and you can't really do it online at Wells Fargo. So when you're traveling, or maybe make a specific trip to do this, go open up a business checking account at Wells Fargo and put some money in that account to start your seasoning process. So by the time you're ready to apply for the business line of credit, your account is seasoned and your home state never mattered. Unless you have a branch in your state, then that's even easier for you. And another thing you can do on top of the business line of credit once you apply for it is stack the Wells Fargo Signify business credit card. This is a credit card that's 0% for 12 months. There's no annual fee on the card. It's 2% cash back on everything you spend on the card. And there's a $500 sign-up bonus when you spend the first $5,000 in the first 3 months on this card. So you have the business line of credit and also the business credit card. People always ask me, Jack, what should I apply for first? I would recommend to apply for the product that is most important to you, and then apply for the one that's second important, apply for that second. So if the business line of credit for $50,000 is more important to you than, say, for example, a $20,000 business credit card that's 0% interest for 12 months, if the BLOC is more important, I would apply for it first and then follow it up by the business credit card. And one thing that's really cool is if you have two businesses, you can actually apply for two of the business Signify business credit cards. If you have 3 or 4 or 5, it doesn't actually work like that. But if you have two businesses, you can apply for one card on the first business and the second card on the second business. Generally, what I recommend to people is apply for the business line of credit first. Once that is approved, then apply for the first business credit card, 0% interest for 12 months. Then if you have a second business, apply for the second business credit card on that second business. And that's how you maximize your funding at Wells Fargo. Jake is a perfect example of using the business line of credit in his business to make more money. He runs an online business consulting, and he used this line of credit to hire a developer and fund his ad spend, generated revenue off that, paid the line of credit off, and then got approved for more on the business credit cards, and then repeated it again with actually a second business credit card after the first. And that's the whole point of a business line of credit. It's not the money you just sit on, it's money you use in your business to make you more money, while this increases and strengthens the relationship you have at Wells Fargo, which then makes it even easier to get approved for that first business credit card and the second business credit card. But when you apply, the numbers matter the same way they do at other banks. For Wells Fargo, I have seen businesses who can project the following numbers on the applications to do the best on approvals. Around $465,000 of gross revenue, about $25,000 in monthly spend, and about $145,000 of total personal income, and employees between 4 and 9. Wells Fargo generally pulls your Experian report. So if Experian is your weakest credit bureau of the 3, that's the one I would want to clean up before you apply. You want to make sure you have at least a 720 score. You want to make sure your utilization is paid down, no late payments in the last 2 years. You want to make sure you don't have more than 2 hard inquiries in the last 6 months, things like that. And here's why the business line of credit is a quiet hero. It's the bridge. When you're running 0% credit long-term, there comes a moment where the card's 12-month promo is ending and you need to clear the balance before the interest hits. The cleanest way to do this is you pull cash from your business line of credit, you pay off the card, then you reset the card 0% interest period by getting a new one, and then you can pay off the business line of credit so you're not paying much interest there. The line of credit is what lets the cards keep rotating without ever fronting your own cash. Without a business line of credit, the long game gets clunky. With one, it is quite smooth. That's also why Wells Fargo sits where it does in the sequence. You want it seasoned and ready before you need it, not scrambled together at the last minute. So open up the checking account early, season it, get the line approved while you don't urgently need it. Then, when you do need it, you can snap your fingers and get approved for the capital you need. So here's the bridge in real numbers. Say you've got a $50,000 credit card from Chase on a Business Inc. card and it's 12 months of 0%, and that 12 months is about to expire. You draw from the $50,000 seasoned Wells Fargo business line of credit, you pay off the Chase card down to 0 before any interest hits, and the Chase promo expires harmlessly and you pay 0 in interest. Then you reset your Chase 0% card. You get a new card, you move the old limits over to the new card, which Chase lets you do, and once that's running again, you then pay off the Wells Fargo business line of credit down to 0, which you can even do through liquidating the new credit card into cash for a 3% fee, so you have the cash off the credit card and you can pay off the business line of credit. It's a little bit more of an advanced strategy, but a very, very solid one. And in this strategy, the line of credit was only drawn for a short window. So you pay interest on it for maybe weeks, not months, that small interest cost is what saves you from maybe 25% interest that you would have paid in interest on the credit card if you let that balance sit on that Chase business credit card. So by using the business line of credit, it bridges you the payment. So you pay off the credit card and then you get a new credit card, then you can liquidate the new card and then pay off the business line of credit. So this is the whole system working together. And Wells is the best for this, but it's not the only option. If you can't qualify at Wells right away, or you want a second bridge in place, Truist or Citizens Bank both offer business lines of credit at very good interest rates. They're regional, so East Coast mainly and Texas as well for Truist. And because they're regional banks, they're less saturated with a ton of credit stacker applications, which sometimes makes them easier to get into. For Truist, you can apply by the phone with no business checking account already. So their number is 844-450-1985. And I would treat Truist as your backup. If Wells isn't ready in time, or you just need another business line of credit, I would look at Truist as number 2. And on another note, a line of credit isn't 0%. It does come with interest. So you want to keep that in mind. I've seen rates as low as 8 or 9% and as high as 15%, most coming around 10%. So it's not a 0% card, but it can be used for a very specific reason, where if you have a better opportunity in front of you and you can make more money and paying 8 to 10% interest, then it could be very beneficial. And to do the bridge strategy, it is even more perfect, so you can not pay interest on the business credit cards, which is very high in interest. So used this way, is the most useful $50,000 in your entire setup for most people. So stop staring only at the cards. The line of credit is where the real flexibility lives, and will help you extend 0% on the credit cards for much longer. If you want to watch my hour-long masterclass on business funding, then click this video right here. It covers everything from A to Z on how to optimize your personal credit profile before applying, how to build the best bank relationships, and I even walk through 3 client case studies to show you exactly the position they were in, the exact recommendations I gave them, and the exact results that came from my recommendations on how to get approved for 0% interest business funding. Click this video right here, and if not, I'll see you in the next video.